Namaste, welcome. Thank you for pressing play and deciding to spend some time with us. I hope you've had a wonderful and blessed week. We have, looking forward, another very exciting week. We're just going into Gemini season, so we'll talk a little bit about Gemini. To all the Gemini people out there, happy birthday. God bless you. I hope you have the most amazing season. Gemini is about communication, or many things, but communication. The symbol for Gemini is the twins. You can read into that whatever you want, but we'll go through it and put it into its right place. I've been very blessed this week, and I just want to thank everyone for all their kindness. A new phenomenon is happening. People now leave plants at my door. Not only do I grow the plants, now people are leaving plants. And I wondered to myself, why is this happening? And I realized it's because if you grow something from a seed, you get excited, you want to grow lots of them. So you grow lots of them, and then you suddenly realize, I've got too many. I don't have enough space to grow them. You also then can't destroy them because you've grown it. You've watched it grow from a seed, something dry and in a packet. When all of this business with the woohoo kicked off, people started stockpiling. Some people started way before that. I stockpiled seeds. I have a big box with loads of seeds, and sometimes I look at it and think to myself, can you believe that that's actually food? Those are actually plants, and you take something that's shriveled up and looks dead, and you give it the fundamentals of life, something to grow in. Water, sunshine, and air. 4 things fundamental to life. So, I would like you to all embrace that this coming week. Get yourself grounded. Earth. Breathe. Air. Go into the sunshine. Vitamin D is the most important thing for your immune system. And the safest place to get it is the sun. And water, obviously. To hydrate, to nourish, cleansing water. You can just keep reusing water. You can clean it, and it's something that you can use over and over again. Isn't it marvelous? Remember the 4 things: earth, air, water, and fire, sun. There you go. Yes? Wonderful. So, we're in for another exciting week. We're moving from Taurus. How was your Taurus season? Were you the miser? Or were you a king? What did you choose? We have a choice. Every moment of every day, you have a choice. You are responsible for those choices. Those choices and the actions that follow have repercussions. And if you take absolute responsibility for yourself, which is your thoughts, your words, your actions and your deeds, or sometimes your non-actions and deeds, and you take responsibility for that, you're free. In this heaven on earth. Isn't it marvelous? I saw lots of miracles and magic. I like to use the word magic. When I was growing up, if you used the word magic, you got into a lot of trouble. I was the eldest, so I was always in trouble, as you can imagine. We weren't allowed to use that word because it had connotations that my family were conditioned to shy away from. But I like that word. Magic, miracle, mystery, a little bit of mayhem. These are all amazing words. The magic. All magic belongs to our Father. No one sitting in a basement conjuring up things with their potions and lotions and their incense. And believe you me, I'm a connoisseur on incense. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with incense. I love it all. My home is filled with every possible image of any deity ever imagined up. Why? Because these are little tokens of the journey of my life. How that really, without leaving my perch, wherever that was, and I'm a home girl, I like to stay home. I don't like my feet off the ground. I want to be sailing on the ship on open oceans. I like to be home. But my life has been very vast, seeking that knowledge, finding the truth within the things. My truth. Getting rid of all the conditionings to bring us to this precise moment in time. So, I hope your week has been filled with mystery and magic, a little bit of mayhem, otherwise it gets boring. So we're in for a little bit more of the same going forward. So let us begin. The astrology for the week commencing 17th of May, Sunday the 17th, which is today. Excuse me. The Sun, trine, retrograde Jupiter. Jupiter is retrograde. So it seems like it's pulling backwards from the Earth. It's not really. It just has that feeling. It's an energy feeling. An opportunity to transform our sense of self-identity, or in other words, who you think you are, through expanding our awareness of self and our consciousness. Your consciousness is the holistic way that you perceive the world. Body, mind, and spirit, they all have to work together. You're not just perceiving from your rational mind. You're not just perceiving from your emotional state. Your consciousness is your vibration. Yes? Think about this. You get some people, they can walk into a room, don't say anything, but you can feel their energy. And people start going, oh. Yes? We have to expand our consciousness, or who we think we are, beyond the ego. So this is an opportunity to work on that. We need to do this so we can embody our spiritual selves, who you really are. Yes? You are in this lifetime on a journey. Some people feel it's a destination. Some people have made it such a destination that they are so attached to life that they fear death so strongly that they will do anything to avoid it. But it is a necessary cycle of life. We need to stay grounded and humble. This helps us to allow the ego to not become complacent and inflated. Wednesday, the 20th, the Sun enters Gemini until the 20th of June. Then we will move into Cancer season. So again, happy birthday, all the Geminis. This is an opportunity to cultivate a willingness to embrace new experiences and ideas that challenge our assumptions and our beliefs about life and reveal new truths we hadn't even considered. It is also an opportunity to become more aware of how we communicate with one another, aiming to share our truth as best we can, whilst being willing to listen to the truths that others have to offer, even when they trigger cognitive dissonance, through exposing our comforting lies that we've been cleaving to. I find this very interesting because on a global scale, this is very evidently playing out if you have eyes to see and ears to hear. It's just what Yeshua said. Those that are seekers of the truth will see the truth within the message, irrespective of the messenger, which is amazing because The archetype for Gemini is the messenger and witness, or the trickster and the gossip. Can you see how we're starting to really see you can veer from being who you really are, a spiritual being having a human existence, to starting to embody the physical traits and communicative traits of the trickster or the liar? Gossip is a very foul, foul, foul obsession. Gossiping is literally like walking up to the person you're gossiping and stabbing them with a knife that is poisoned. A bit more about that in a minute. Sun enters Gemini, an opportunity to cultivate a willingness to embrace new experiences and ideas that challenge our assumptions and beliefs about life and reveal new truths that we hadn't considered. It's also an opportunity to become more aware of how we communicate with one another. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is all about air and communication. This is to help us to share our truths with others, whilst being able to listen to other people's truths and to listen to what other people have to offer. If you think you know everything, well, then you can't really learn anything, can you? So we can see that coming forward through the Gemini season, there's going to be a lot of 7-minute abs moment, which is how we refer to cognitive dissonance. Because people will have to confront the lies within themselves, and once you can do that, you see the lies outside of yourself. You see, if you are happy to have the liar within be your dominant guide, as opposed to the still quiet voice of the Holy Spirit, then you feel quite comfortable in a deceptive world. You don't really like those that speak the truth because they will expose you. You feel quite exposed by those who are embodying the truth. So we can expect lots of triggering going forward. Friday the 22nd. Mercury conjunct Venus, retrograde. Venus is also retrograde. An opportunity to develop a more conscious understanding of how our values affect the way we perceive the world, and whether our values are based on love and abundance or fear and lack. You will always attract what you vibrate. So if you feel like you're in lack, no one loves me, I have nothing, then you will attract more of that. You will attract perhaps more people that treat you like you're nothing. You will attract people that take from you. But if you are in your current circumstance, whether it be humble or not, if you are feeling that abundance, feeling that wealth of being alive and the magic of the world, and any problem you have is just a positive thought away, and you might say, this woman is crazy. We live this life. Yes, we do. Everything can change when you change your mind. If you are feeling loved and abundant, well, then you will attract love and you will attract abundance. If it works for the negative, why wouldn't it work for the positive? You just got to give it a go. That's all. An opportunity to develop a more conscious understanding of how our values affect the way we perceive the world, and whether our values are based on love and abundance or fear and lack. Remember, fear feeds the beast, it feeds disease, it feeds the lie, it steals your joy, and it entrenches you into a system that is not, or does not have to be, your reality. It's also an opportunity to become more mindful of how we communicate with one another in relationships, and making sure our thoughts and our words are loving and kind to avoid harming our relationships through judgment and having an undisciplined tongue. Remember, your tongue does not have a mind of its own. If you are speaking the words, you need to take responsibility for them. Sun trines Saturn. Saturn is also retrograde. Saturn, keeper of karma, time, and the Christ consciousness. An opportunity to transform our sense of self-identity through cultivating and embodying qualities such as patience, perseverance, self-discipline, self-control, and personal integrity. Aren't they marvelous? Fruits of the Spirit, they are. It's an opportunity to recognize the value of resisting instant gratification in order to commit to truly worthwhile goals. It's that having that ability just to wait that extra few days, that extra few weeks, that extra few months, to have the best of the best, as opposed to having a mediocre version because everyone else has a version. As long as you have one that looks like it, is fine. As opposed to just waiting and having the very, very best, because that's what you deserve. If you can resist the instant gratification, gives you an opportunity to commit to truly worthwhile goals that will bring true and lasting pleasure and satisfaction rather than just temporary satisfaction. Also, Friday the 22nd, Mercury square Neptune. A challenge to transform the rational mind through mindfulness to help bring logic and intuition together so the mind can operate more holistically. At the same time, it's important to let go of mental chatter that drowns out the intuition and use reason to discern the intuition from illusion. New moon in Gemini, also Friday the 22nd. 6:39 p.m. If you add that all up, you get 8. So this is telling me right then, to make the best of your Gemini season, you need to maintain a sense of balance. In other words, try to be in the middle of your circle. Yes, balance. Balance the logical mind with the creative mind. Balance body and mind. Balance your masculine with your feminine. Balance your external with your internal. Balance is the key to make it through Gemini season. Also meditation. Another way of achieving balance is to be still. We mustn't forget. We are all just participating in the biggest international bestseller ever written. You get to choose whether, when you wake up in the morning, you put on some costume that someone else has decided is your role, or you just go to your wardrobe and put on whatever it is you have decided to wear, because the role you play in this world is who you are, not what others need you to be, or expect you to be, or want you to be. Now, sounds great. You need to realize that if that is your choice, it takes responsibility. Absolute responsibility. And it starts with taking responsibility for the thoughts in your head. Because if they are left unchecked, they will roll out as words on your tongue and actions. This is when you now need to take responsibility for that, because if you don't, there is this thing called spiritual law which will ensure balance is maintained. So if you as a sentient being on this planet. Get into the flow. We can say divine flow, synchronicity, get on your path, many ways to describe it. Then, to make sure you're always at the right place, at the right time, you just have to be. Still, maintaining balance. Do not think that from time to time things get on my nerves. Oh yes, I do not suffer fools lightly. It has taken a long time for me to cultivate the patience. Do you know what it's like to look at somebody who's bald-faced lying to your face? Their lips are moving and the devil incarnate is spilling from their lips, possessed with lies, but smiling. Yes, looking like Jesus, but spewing the devil's tongue. And you smile. Yes, all the while they think you're stupid. Oh, how stupid is this girl? She can believe anything I say. No, my friend. No, no, no. This is called the rope technique. You see, we just give you rope and rope and rope and rope and more. It's not up to me or us to decide when it goes a jerk. That is up to our Father. You see, your energy does not lie. Your lips may be lying, but your energy does not lie. Your true self is there screaming to us. No, no. So your lips are moving. You are playing this role like an actor. It's quite funny. I have to sometimes put my serious face on because I just want to laugh. And your lips are moving and you're right, the full-on performance. But your energy is going, no. Yeah. Foolishness. New moon in Gemini. An opportunity to set new beginnings in areas such as embracing new ideas and experiences that get us out of our comfort zone. Marvelous. How are you going to grow if you don't get out of your comfort zone? Improving our communication skills, whether it be listening or speaking. Communication is listening and speaking. In my experience, more so listening. And when you get really smart, you listen with your energy too, because energy doesn't lie. So the lips can be saying whatever. Don't matter. Don't matter. If you pay attention to the energy is telling you everything. Learning to see situations from different perspectives and learning to stop identifying with our own thoughts through using mindfulness to move from thinking to being present. So one of the great themes for Gemini is to be present. Yes, not too much thinking. Okay. There's going to be lots of communication out in the world. In yourself, internal chatter, lots of communication coming. I mean, you've got to realize the whole world is being every human is reevaluating what is real for them, what's important. So the internal chatter, the internal landscape for some at this time must be very, very scary and horrendously treacherous. Okay, but similarly, it can also be beautiful and peaceful and calm. If you've been watching these videos from the beginning, you would have got a sense round about December something's about to happen. And by January, February, you would have known it is game on. And by now, you should have been sliding into your new heaven on earth life. You also need to remember that you we're where a lot of people are now in their spiritual path. So you need to be humble and acknowledge all the effort it's taking for everybody in the world to face their own potential mortality. That's a lot of panic and fear in the collective energy. So it is our job to be the light of the world without being vampired on. Yes, so Gemini season is marvelous to see who are the vamps and who are the bringers of light. Okay, Gemini season, happy birthday to all the Geminis. It's mutable air. The ruler is Mercury. The archetype, the messenger and witness, or the trickster and the gossip. The body connection, so the part of your body where Gemini is most likely to affect is your lungs, your shoulders, your arms, and your hands, like that. All across here. The chakra it affects is your throat chakra. Now, my darlings, you have to have your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is also obviously how you start to get sound out of your mouth. Air has to move down your throat into your lungs. We understand the woohoo's main intention is to starve the breath from people through any means possible. So it becomes very clear that we might have a peak in this season to do with lung complaints. And seeing as we all know the woohoo ultimately gets you at the lungs, then we have to consider that we're going to see a height, peak, on a global scale, not necessarily where you reside, on a global scale. Also, your throat chakra is this energy center that needs to be open so that you can mentally articulate the spiritual information that you're receiving. Okay. Now, the exciting thing is that once your throat chakra starts to open, you cannot help but to speak your truth. Yes? Speak it, speak it, speak it, speak it. So we can expect a lot of people speaking their truth. So in your personal self, in your personal life, you might be saying, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with this, I'm going to stand up for myself, I'm going to speak my truth, I'm not going to let people shout me down. And we'll see a lot of this happening. Obviously, very much more intensified because people are cloistered with their nearest and dearest, or not, as the case may be. The color blue is the color associated with your throat chakra. So if you're struggling, wear some blue. Also, blue crystals are very helpful. The positive traits, open-mindedness. Geminis, on the high vibration of a high vibration Gemini person is beautiful. Open-minded, a beginner's mentality, not I've arrived. And no. It's like, I'm here now. What's my next step? Each step is a beginning. It's beautiful. You're always learning then. You're always growing. People will always find you fantastically interesting. A healthy curiosity, clear perception and awareness, seeing both sides of the situation, so seeing other people's perspectives, yes, being able to see outside of yourself, lightheartedness, mental alertness, and the ability to communicate ideas clearly, embracing paradox, yeah, active listening, right thinking or righteousness, right thinking, right speech, mental detachment or mindfulness, freedom loving, and present in the here and the now. What that means is not living in the past. Once you've cleared all of that drama, you don't want to talk about it. It's boring, okay? Because if you're still dragging all of that from the past into today, you're basically recreating that for tomorrow. You're laying the foundation for that to be tomorrow's story. Very boring. The negative traits. Narrow-mindedness, a know-it-all, resistant to new ideas, scattered thinking, in other words, not very focused, clinging to one's own point of view, duplicity, or in other words, being two-faced, gossiping, habitual lying, aloofness, excessively talkative, fear of commitment, indecisive, and overthinking. A couple of sentences we can put forward to give you a general idea of themes you can expect to experience within yourself, those around you, and in the greater world. Are you willing to question your own beliefs and assumptions about life? Are your thoughts, your focus on positive and empowering, or are your thoughts and your focus negative and limiting? Do you listen to understand, or do you listen to respond? Which do you value more, speaking or listening? Excuse me, I prefer listening. Are you willing to recognize and let go of your own biased viewpoints that distort your perception in order to free the mind and to see reality as it is? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Literally all you have to do is change your mind and be still. And that literally will solve all your problems. Are you willing to explore and embrace new truths that challenge comforting lies? Or do you attempt to shut them out through cognitive dissonance and rationalizing the lies? Are you willing to focus the mind to rise above the thoughts into clear awareness, to live in the here and now? Are you able to engage in free-flowing discussions of ideas that unearth new truths? Or do you feel the need to dominate the conversation to avoid having the limits of your own knowledge exposed? What I like to do is I like to say nothing and let everyone talk. And they go and they go and they go and they go and they go. And then just quietly, just say a few words and it just, everyone just goes, Jesus said, be meek as a dove and cunning as a serpent. Listening. Do you commit to another person or group in a loving, non-attached way? Or are you more of just a social butterfly because you're really, really scared of commitment? These are going to be the themes under the spotlight. All very exciting. Okay, we'll have a few cards just to confirm all of that. There's 3 there. All right, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll have one for later, won't we? Excuse me, just going to make sure the microphone doesn't veer off. Okay, we start with the dragon. The dragon is basically telling us the dragon is power and strength. You have the strength and the power to get through whatever it is that you are confronted with right now. Okay, you have to pay the price for all your misdeeds. Yep, that's a given. You are not shackled by it, other than if you continue to allow yourself to be shackled by your past misdeeds or what you think you haven't done or what you think you should be doing. Everything that you need, the power and the strength, even if you feel like that you're at your absolute weakest, our Father is saying, you know what? The power and the strength is there for you. You just have to ask. Yes, I'll show you how simple it is. It's very simple. Say, look at this. Father, send me the Spirit of Christ. Boom. For me, I get very hot. Yes? You'll feel that power. You will feel that strength. The Spirit of Christ. That's why the Christians say that. In Jesus' name, in the name of Jesus. It's because it gives you that power, that strength. You feel like you are invincible. But not your ego, just your spirit feels like, nah, we are overcoming these possessed people. They cannot tear us down. So, whatever situation you're facing right now, ask for that power and ask for that strength, and it will come. If it can come to me, why can't it come to you? What makes me more special than you? Nothing. Like you, I was born and given a name and an identity. My job was to fight to make sure that I was never put in someone else's box or in someone else's category. Yes, I had a job. I had a job title, many jobs. I had a job titles, I had job descriptions like everybody else. We had performance appraisals. It got exciting. I even got to the stage where I was giving other people the performance appraisals. Wow. But that time came to an end. And I had to pull on that power and that strength to make those changes. You can do it. We next have disruption. All right, so disruption is very mercurial. It is very mercurial. So we can expect disruption, but the disruption is only there to get us back into right timing. Okay, get us back into the exact timing that we need to be for our blessings to come through. See, very next one, abundance, asking and receiving. In some cultures, a cow is very much revered. You know, the cows can walk around the streets. People are starving, but cows are still walking around. But it's revered. It is a symbol of abundance. The cow itself, my loves, can't bring you abundance. Okay, so there's no point in worshipping the cows for sure. But it is an archetype for abundance. Because think of it, a cow gives you milk, gives you cheese. It gives you beef for people that partake of beef. Okay, so changes are afoot. In the Gemini season, there's some new opportunities coming for you in relationship with partnerships, both romantic and professional. So we're coming together with emboldened, empowered partnerships, both romantic and professional, not necessarily just romantic, can be platonic as well as romantic, but they're going to hopefully be more balanced. They're not necessarily, no, but people are going to be joining up. That's what's going to be happening. Okay, they're going to be joining up because people are thinking long term, like, what if this woohoo situation is a 5-10 year thing? You know, in 10 years' time, you know, people are re-evaluating to the microcosm of their existence right now. It's quite marvelous. So people are going to be partnering up for what they would perceive as long-term plans. So the disruption just makes sure that you're on track for what you do. Okay, so let's get back to this also. Nourishment, abundance, asking and receiving. You need to ask. You have free will, so you need to ask. If you don't, people say, I don't know what to say. I'm like, you talk basically to yourself constantly. People do. Let's not act like we don't. That's like you're talking to God anyway. Okay. If you've got a problem, say, Father, help me. Or if you prefer to take a more religious approach, you can pray in the traditional fashion. That's also all right. Doesn't matter. He's my dad. I remember I was young. So let me try to calculate my age. So I wasn't at high school. So I was probably about 9 or 10. And in our house, my father only spoke once. If you didn't listen, there were repercussions. So if you heard your name called, you paid attention and you went and inquired as to what was required of you. So I was going to sleep one night and my parents were already in bed. And I'm just falling off to sleep and I hear my name called very clearly and it sounded like my dad. So I went round, knocked on the bedroom door Yes. I said, did you call me, Dad? He goes, no. I said, okay, good night. And off I go. So I'm just about to get comfortable and fall off to sleep again, and I hear again my name being called. And I'm like, oh, was that my dad? So now I'm in this dilemma. Do I get up and go and check? Because if I've just imagined this now and I'm going to disturb them a second time, I'm in trouble. But if he has called me and I don't respond, then I'm in trouble. So I'm like, I decide, no, I'm going to go and check. It's far better. So I go to knock at the door. Sorry, Dad. My mum was there, obviously. Did you call me? And he went, no. I went, okay. He says, but. I'm like, oh, here we go. He says, if you hear the voice again, say, Father, I am listening. And I knew what he was talking about. Okay, so off I go to bed. Just about to fall asleep. And again I hear the voice, but now, previously the voice sounded external to me. I thought it was my actual physical dad's voice. This time the voice was more internal and it wasn't my dad's voice. And I heard this voice call my name and I went, Father, I am your daughter and I am listening. And I fell off to sleep. What an amazing experience. This is how close God is. He is your Father. The Holy Spirit, the Divine Feminine, is your mother. Maybe your relationship with your parents wasn't the best, okay? These will be the parents then you never had. These will be the best parents. They know your soul. They know how your mind works. They know you better than you know yourself because they created your soul. You need to ask them. We have free will. Okay, it's as simple as that. Father, I need help. If you don't know all the fancy words, I need help. Help me. Simple as that. Okay, so lots of blessings can come our way if we invite them in after we've done the hard work to make the changes, expand our perception, making your circle bigger, get rid of all the stuff that doesn't serve you. Yes, all of these cultural things and nonsense things and limiting beliefs. No. Let's get rid. A time of disruption to bring us back into divine timing, put us in line basically for our blessings and our abundance. And if you are finding yourself in need or have any lack right now, then ask and it will be given unto you. Okay, moving on to the partnerships. All right, so some people have been in partnerships and they're a bit unbalanced and things are not good. And you might be thinking of leaving the partnership or dissolving the partnership or moving on to fresher territory, as well as perhaps that happened in the past and now you're ready now to engage in more balanced partnerships and relationships. Okay, what we have to first do is make sure that we have healed and we have learnt. There is knowledge available in every circumstance. Whatever's happening to you right now is not happening to you, it's happening for you, just to bring you into your abundance and into your blessings. So information will be coming, probably to do with old partnerships, old situations, just to bring you some healing and some closure and to enable you to move on and get it on in the new normal. All right, the wind fairy. So she's all about overanalyzing. She is thoughts, words, and intellectual analysis, which is what we've discussed. Okay, overthinking. Not a good idea. Internal chatter that's negative. Clinging on to past beliefs. This is saying get grounded. The way not to succumb to the negative traits of the wind fairy or the mercurial air energy is to stay grounded. You decide whose voice you go letting into your head. I avoid negative people these days. Well, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's lockdown. You just see, it's lovely. It's like there's a whole bunch of people I really didn't have to put any boundaries with because the woohoo came and put the boundaries in. That part was marvelous. Get your thoughts under control, because if you get your thoughts under control, you'll get your words under control, your actions will become more focused and your blessings will roll in. But You cannot move on unless you've cleared the negativity from the past. All right, we'll have one more to close off with. I wanted to give two. The King. Okay. The King. So that is man, physical man, male authority, male sexual energy, and things pertaining to the law and justice. So basically what this is telling me to tell you is the masculine energy has been on a mission for a very long time. Okay. Ladies, lots of people are coming, if you're single, people are coming towards you to cloister with you, okay? Because they are thinking long term. Those that couldn't commit before suddenly have decided, no, commitment is the way forward. So if you were someone's option before, chances are they might be coming to knock on your door. You have to have the discernment, okay? Instant gratification. I'm going to put it bluntly, very, very bluntly. Don't fall for the short-term shag. When your king is waiting in the wings to show you your best life, don't fall for it. Don't. Father, continue to bless us. Teach us the truth no matter the cost. Show us the truth no matter the cost. Namaste, everybody. Peace be with you.